So DC Comics is laying people off. There's quite a bit of news coming out of DC Comics, actually, cutting back on books, laying off staff, and rumors that they might be getting sold. Actually, that's a rumor from a while ago, but I want to bring it up for a reason. The biggest one is that the comic book industry is in a lot of trouble. And you wouldn't know this if you went on Twitter and looked at all the comic pros that will either block you or call you a piece of garbage, right? They literally have no respect for fans. So it's just funny that they think it's a privilege for you to talk to them in a dying industry that no one really cares about anymore. It's sad. Comics are dying while manga is thriving. So DC is laying off. This is actually a pretty short article. We can go through it real quick. It doesn't sound that bad when you find out they're only laying off 7 people out of 240 as far as, the higher management executive level. That's all we're talking about in this. So as Warner Brothers continues to restructure the company, announced DC Comics will be laying off some employees in the publishing division. As reported by The Hollywood Reporter, 7 of their 240 employees are expected to be let go, affecting 3% of the workforce in this latest organizational shuffle, right? So that doesn't sound that bad on the surface, right? But they've had exec changes. They have a new president. This is just the beginning. Most of the layoffs affect the executive level of the comics publishing division, and rumors suggested that publishers Dan Didio and Jim Lee could be exiting the company. The THR report indicates that's not true, with both Lee and Didio continue playing viral roles in DC Comics executive level. Now, they're not going to admit that. What do you think? They're not going to just say something right now in the midst of this news and the news that they're cutting back books? But don't be surprised if it comes. I guarantee you they're probably training replacements, because you can't just throw somebody in there. They're probably going to bring somebody else either up or in to those roles, and then they'll give them a nice severance package or something, and they'll be on their way. They'll be fine without DC. Well, Jim Lee for sure will be fine without DC. But anyway, these were given in memos to Pam Lifford, the president of Warner Brothers Global Brands, and she gave a statement. Today has been a challenging day. We've made organizational changes across DC that we believe will help strengthen and evolve the division for future success. With these changes come difficult decisions, which we take very seriously. We recognize and appreciate all of our employees have made considerable contributions to our business, and that it's difficult to lose colleagues, many of whom have been here for a long time and have made important impacts on DC. We thank them for their hard work and dedication to DC as always, and they're committed to making changes. Together with Dan and Jim and the executive team, we have spent time assessing DC's business as well as the comic book publishing landscape. DC is going back to its roots of delivering epic stories with our world-class characters, stories, and brands. Being a premier house of storytelling will never go out of style, and we intend to ultimately superserve our existing fans while providing new compelling content that engages and excites even more fans around the globe. Rest assured, the direct market will remain at the heart of our business and will continue to be one of our greatest strengths. DC Comics has yet to make a public statement regarding the organization changes. So there's more coming. There's more coming. And I also find it funny that they say here, rest assured, the direct market will remain a part of our business. I don't think so. I think that that's there to just kind of keep people calm. But I guarantee you they're going to make some kind of digital push. And why wouldn't they? 4 retailers on the 2019 Death Watch. Now we can go right down to Barnes and Nobles. Barnes & Nobles has lost its way. The company hasn't had a full-time CEO since firing of Damios Paneros over the summer, and it lacks clear turnaround plans. During the second quarter earnings call, they laid out how the chain has been doing, and you can see here that they've lost a whole lot of money. Book sales are down, and digital books are up. They've been shut out, apparently. And they've been focusing more on regular books. It doesn't seem that they have a turnaround plan either. Barnes & Noble is like the last bastion for like browsing graphic novels. And one of the biggest highlights we're told by these toxic comic pros is that graphic novels are what's going to be the future. Maybe in digital format, but it won't be at Barnes and Nobles. This is all a part of that shift that they're talking about doing towards more digital content. And then I hate using Bleeding Cool, but he's got some sources here that they're selling less comics. They've canceled like books like Titans are canceled. Titans is like the Nightwing-led team. And it looks like Batman and the Outsiders is canceled, which is unfortunate. That would have been a really good book by Brian Hill. But they've actually cut down a lot of their physical books, and that's part of shrinking. Marvel continues to try to salvage money by, ripping off comic shops while DC is shrinking down their books. And I think they're going to get smaller because they need to do something. Check this out. This is the Shonen Jump website. I actually have this. I pay for this $2, right? But you don't even need to pay that. You can actually just go in here and you can get the latest couple of issues for free. And then you like what you see? Well, look, you pay $2. You can go back and read it all. Every single thing they've ever published is available to read. And that's pretty impressive. You don't get that from DC Comics or Marvel. Comixology doesn't even offer anything like that. They offer borrowed books to a limited amount, right? And that's not putting a dent on this. But we also know that the characters themselves are still popular. By the way, Aquaman is selling right now. Spider-Man, fastest selling game of the year. The interest in the characters is still there. It's always been there, but people don't want to read the comics. But we know people also still want to read based on the popularity of manga. So what is it? I think there's a couple of things: price and the politics. No one wants to read the politics. No one wants to pay the high price. Because, you literally have Fortnite becoming bigger than HBO or Hulu. And don't forget, Fortnite's free. $4 will buy you a couple of skins for your weapons in that game. And, Call of Duty now has made more money than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I'm showing this for a point. It's that even the movies aren't untouchable, right? Comics are niche, and you can't run these big huge businesses like this on a niche. And they've thought about selling them before. Now this is back in 2017. Okay, February 28th, 2018 is when this report came out, and this was before the AT&T stuff or whatever, and they were considering selling DC Comics. Because, what are they going to do? They needed to make money. And it kind of shows you that DC Comics is expendable to them. I don't think they really care about DC Comics and keeping them around, And as long as I think they can make some money, they will keep them around. And the direct market is not the way to make a ton of money. The only way that this company and this business model of making comics is going to work is if they lower the cost of the books and go digital. Now, I'm just not sure, I don't know a lot about business and paying people, but if you cut the majority of the books down and go digital, you could probably sell the books for $2 or $3 a piece. I think that would be good. $2 would be about the right price for a 20-page comic book, right? Or I think a subscription plan would be good as well. But anyway, let me know what you think about this. What do you think about these plans? How do you feel about all of this? Do you think there's nothing DC can do? Do you think they'll go before Marvel? I thought Marvel would go first. It's crazy. Anyway, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. Check out the links in the description, and I'll see you guys on the next one.